Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, December 27th, 2015, was week 16 of the NFL season. Early in the day, I made some predictions on my blog for what would come. One of the predictions I made was that the Jets would defeat the Patriots. And I made this prediction based on the numbers. If you're new here, I have been exposing the truth that professional sports are completely rigged and predetermined, and they are controlled by numerology. That might sound absurd to some people, but the proof is in understanding the language of numerology, following the research I have done, and then applying what I'm teaching to the games that are to come, because you will see exactly what I am exposing. This league is rigged, and it's rigged by numbers. Here's what stood out most of all going into the game. Before the teams played yesterday, the all time record between the teams was 59, 53, and 1. Meaning that if the Jets won, the record would become 59, 54, and 1, with 54 wins for the Jets. 54 is a very important number for the Jets. In gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, Jets equals 54. Yesterday's game came on a date with 54 numerology. Also, what stood out was the number 63. I've been documenting on this blog how the number 63 has been haunting the Patriots all season, and possibly further back than that. You know, this research I'm doing, it's part of an ongoing project. I'm just one man. I teach these skills in the hopes that other people will help me, which they do. But I want more and more people to learn these skills and start applying this knowledge so we can make bigger discoveries and bigger finds. In history, the last time New England lost in New York, where the game was yesterday, they lost on a date with 63 numerology, October 20th, 2013. And this year, the games between the Patriots and the Jets were spaced out by 63 days. The Patriots won October 25th this year. Yesterday's game came 63 days later. I said in the game to watch out for the number 63, and it showed up, which we'll get to. Also, earlier this season, one of the biggest upsets for the Patriots was when they lost to the Eagles. They lost with the score summing to 63. That game came exactly 63 days before Super Bowl 50. They lost to the Eagles December 6th, 2015. A sum of 63 points, 63 days before the Super Bowl. As for New England's offense, they could not run the ball yesterday. In fact, they finished with a net 63 yards. And Truth Seeker, I don't think this is any coincidence. I think this is how tightly the games are scripted. I've shown these kind of examples again and again throughout the season. Here I am saying watch out for the number 63. New England loses by the numbers, amassing only 63 yards on the ground. And the saying is in football, if you can't run the ball, you can't win. Of course, that's changing in today's game where it's mostly about passing and cheap pass interference calls and yellow flags. The big controversy in the game is what happened in overtime. The Patriots rallied late to tie the game to send it to overtime. They then won the toss, New England, but chose to kick the ball, which is not something most teams do at this day and age with the new rules in overtime. If you score on a touchdown on your opening drive, you win the game, which is exactly what the Jets did yesterday to the Patriots. On the winning drive, Fitzpatrick, the quarterback for the Jets, went 3 for 3 for 74 yards. And again, this number is no coincidence. Yesterday's date numerology had numerology of 54 connecting to Jets, also 74, a very important number to the Freemasons and Zionists who control the NFL and who are the master numerologists behind all this rigging and scripting. 3 for 3 for 74 yards. And this came in overtime when the Patriots elected to kick the ball instead of trying to score first to win the game. The reason that Belichick made this call is because Bill Belichick has no influence on the outcome of the game. He is a puppet in a hoodie on the sidelines fulfilling a script. For his sake, he's gotten to be at the better end of that script for the better part of the post 9/11 decade. Remember, the New England Patriots emerged out of nowhere with Tom Brady in the wake of the Patriot Act in 9/11. All part of the sports scripting. These games are here to distract us from the things that matter, such as being lied to on September 11th. The average American man, instead of worrying about how he was lied to on September 11th, worried about the NFL season being delayed a week and what his sports team was going to do next. You know? I woke up when I was 18 years old when September 11th happened. That's how old I was, 18. I saw it all right then. It was just so clear. Getting lied to on TV, grown men not caring but caring more about their sports games. The people of this nation really are pathetic. And some people don't like to hear things like that, but we have to acknowledge the truth. We are a pathetic nation, a pathetic people, easily distracted, easily deceived, highly gullible. And the rigging in these sports games should be just as apparent as the lies on September 11th. Tom Brady is a mediocre talent who benefits from the scripting. He doesn't have the strongest arm. His whole career, he's been doing the same thing, throwing little slant passes over the middle to wide open receivers who run down the yard for monstrous gains, something that doesn't happen for any other teams in the league because it's not scripted that way for them. The Patriots have done the same thing for nearly 15 straight years, and somehow defensive coordinators in the NFL haven't caught up. It's a joke. It's a joke. Let's take a look at the coach of the Jets. Last night, ESPN was running this story a minute 13 in length. That's a special number to the Freemasons and the Zionists. Mainstream and dishonest equals 113, which NFL football highly is. Completely rigged games, no different than the WWF, where grown men think they're going out and watching something that's not predetermined. In the Jewish Talmud, it's Baba Kama 113a that says a Jew may use lies to circumvent a Gentile, which is a non-Jew. The NFL and all the pro sports leagues are controlled by the Zionist Jews. This coding is no coincidence. The head coach of the Jets, he's coached for two teams, the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Jets. Tell you what's interesting about that in a second. The name Todd Bowles that he goes by has gematria of 119, special number. Think about in New York, 11-9, 9/11. All-seeing eye and Star of David equal 119. Star of David's the symbol of the Zionists. The name Todd Bowles has gematria of 47 the small way. Star of David is 47 the small way. His biggest win yesterday as the head coach of the Jets came on a date with a life lesson number of 47. The first Super Bowl was in the 47th season of the NFL. No coincidence. He was born November 18th, 1963, a date with 111 numerology. New York equals 111. Remember, the Mets just lost in the 111th World Series. I predicted in spring training that the Mets would be in the 111th World Series because of this coding right here and a little more. November 18th is also the 322nd day of the year, a number associated with the Masonic Order Skull and Bones. I'm not saying Todd Bowles was in Skull and Bones, but I am saying he's likely chosen because of his numbers. That seems to be how the Zionists and Masons operate. By the numbers, choosing people who have the numbers. As for Arizona and New York, the teams he's coached, they're the only two states with 39 gematria. Think about how after 9/11, the World Series was Yankees and Diamondbacks, New York and Arizona. It's a league by the numbers truth seeker. Panthers lost yesterday in Atlanta on the 33rd parallel with a combined score of 33 points. They were 14-0. Whenever I see the number 14, it makes me think of two words, dead and end. Once upon a time in the NFL, It was just a 14-game regular season. The words dead and end have gematria 14. They lost to their rival, the Falcons, in the 42nd game between the two teams. They came into the game 24-17 with Atlanta leading the series. Atlanta now leads the series 25-17. Yesterday was the 42nd game between the two teams, coming exactly 42 days between or before Super Bowl 50. The word Freemason equals 42 the small way. Again, Freemasons and Zionists control the NFL. Cam Newton had his season low passing yards, 142. If you write out 42, it sums to 142. Next week, he plays Tampa Bay and Winston, the rookie QB. Winston is a name with 33 and 42 gematria. We'll see if the Panthers choke against Tampa Bay at home and finish 14-2. That might very well be coded into Cam Newton's passing stats. And notice he had a net 113 yards. Scottish, mainstream, dishonest, all equal 113, a number we already talked about. Scripted games, Truth Seeker. Atlanta's on the 33rd parallel. It's named after the lost city Atlantis, which has gematria of 33. The abbreviation ATL has gematria of 33. The sum of yesterday's game, 20-13, 33. And look at this little update from ESPN. The Falcons' chance to win rose from 33% to 64% on the 70-yard Julio Jones touchdown reception. It's a joke, Truth Seeker. It's a joke. Winston himself lost his first game of the season against the number 1 draft pick, Mariota from the 33rd state, Oregon, 42-14. We'll see how he closes out the season against Cam Newton. You know, Winston, a possible future star in the future NFL. Two of the league's premier black quarterbacks. As for Sunday Night Football, some deep coding here. New York is the 11th state. When you sum 1 through 11, it totals 66. Notice that the sum of the game was 66 points. NFL and Jewish gematria equals 66. The first Super Bowl was at the end of the 66th season. Revelation is the 66th book of the Bible based on the 39 books of the Old Testament, and 39 is the number always coded into Sunday Night Football. New York equals 39. As for the Minnesota Vikings, they have gematria of 93, the reflection of 39. Yesterday's game was on a life lesson number of 47. In Revelation, the numbers 4 and 7 are used more than any other. The word Christian equals 47. Minnesota equals 47, winning on the life lesson number date of 47. In the end of the game, the young running back for the Vikings put it away with a 68-yard touchdown run. His name in gematria equals 68. The Giants fell to 6-8. His last name also has gematria of 39, the special number on Sunday Night Football. And his elder running back, Adrian Peterson, had a long rush of the game of 39 yards. All by the numbers, Truth Seeker. And as for tonight, Monday Night Football, it takes place between the Bengals and Broncos. It's kicking off right now. Today has a 55 numerology. 55 has been a big number for the Broncos this year, who are in their 55th year of existence. It's also a date with 75 numerology, which connects to Cincinnati Bengals. I haven't done enough research on this game to make a prediction, but I did say earlier this year a lot lined up for the Broncos to go to the Super Bowl. So winning tonight would definitely be a big step in that direction. The Bengals are playing for the top seed in the AFC. So it should be an interesting game. We'll see how it finishes. Remember, MNF equals 33. There's usually a lot of 33 in Monday Night Football. Bengals are one of 3 teams with a 33 name gematria. Bengals, Lions, Seahawks. Broncos last won the Super Bowl 33, January 31st, 1999. So that's pretty much it, Truth Seeker. Wake up to what's going on. It's rigging by the numbers. Until next time.